Hi everyone, it's Dream Chaser, and I'm going to be showing this Lego Architecture Studio set that I got. There's other reviews and things out there, but I just kind of thought I would do one of my own. I've already opened the box, but I really haven't taken anything out of it just yet. I've just barely kind of looked inside. So we'll do kind of a detailed overview of what's in here. Here are the details on the box. I'm sorry the lighting in here is not the greatest in the world. But quite a few pieces, over 1,200 to be exact, and the ages recommended is of course 16 and over. Probably some more mature, younger kids could definitely work with this too, but it's definitely not a set for really young kids. So with that, let's kind of figure out how we get this open here. Alright, that just flips over. So this is what the top looks like before you even take anything out of the box. The first thing you'll notice is the book that comes with it, and it's kind of hard just to pull it right out. What I'm going to do is just kind of put this box over. And I'll put this on the table. And this book by itself is just really cool. It's very well designed. Nice color. Really neat layout of the photos. Definitely not necessarily a how-to or an instruction manual kind of thing like most people are used to with Lego, but kind of gives you a little bit of a historical perspective. And then as you kind of progress through, it kind of starts to give you some examples. And then here are some sample builds that you can kind of look at and make. And what this does is kind of lead you through basically kind of some of the elements of design as far as architecture goes, and a lot of them are kind of transferable to other art forms as well. Me being kind of an art person, I kind of am familiar with things like that, the elements and principles of design, things like that. And so a lot of this is going to be, if you've done art types of things before, this is going to be something that will kind of fit right in. So I won't give too much of this away. That's the book that comes with it. So it gives you these boxes to store everything in. So there's the first box. And these boxes kind of just kind of flip over. We'll kind of take those out and put them to the side. And now we get to the really important parts of the bricks, and there are a lot of them. So I'll just kind of, I'm going to take these out of the bag, but I'll just kind of hold the bags up and kind of let you see. That looks like special pieces, not just your typical 2x2s, 1x2s, that sort of thing there. I'll just go from smaller to bigger here. These look like clears and slopes. One thing I'm really excited about, this kit has so many different white and clear pieces, and when I do buildings anyway, and so I'm gonna like having this many white pieces and clear pieces to work with for buildings and things. So there's more. These look like studs, plates, things like that there. Yeah, now we're getting some smaller ones in here still, actually. These look like 1x's, and maybe a few 1x2s in there. More 1-bys and 2-bys, it looks like there. These look like more plates, more 1-bys, 2-bys. More pieces. More of the same. I even see a couple of corner pieces in there. Ooh. Seeing some pieces I'm getting excited about. More plates, slopes, corners. Now I'm going to have a lot to open. This was supposed to have been a Christmas gift, actually, but my family went ahead and told me, go ahead and start using it and enjoy it, because it's so hot now, but it's going to start getting chilly outside, and I'm going to be looking for more indoor things to do, so this will definitely help. Bigger plates. Looks like we got some 2x6s, 1x6s. I like those big plates. Those will come in very handy. Now we're getting to the really big stuff. More 1-bys, 2-bys. Oh, here we go. Wow. Oh, wow, check that out. This looks like a 2x12 plate there. More plates. Ooh, I like the round one. I could do something special with that. Never had this many special pieces to work with. This is really awesome. Wow. I'm still pulling bags of blocks out of here, and we're getting to run out of room. There's like a 1/4 of a circle there. I could do something cool with that. Couple more here. Wow. More smaller circles, more 4s. Okay. Getting down to the bottom. Oh my. They actually put a brick separator in here. They must have been listening, because a lot of the videos that I've seen previous to this, everyone was saying, oh, they should have put a brick separator. And lo and behold, the last bag in the kit, and you've got a lot of plates and a brick separator. Really can't have too many of those. I've got a couple of them already, but it won't hurt to have more. Oh, there's one more tiny bag of really small pieces there. More wedges, plates, clear 1-bys. Lots of special ones. And then we're finally to the bottom of the box. They give you a couple of these nice trays to kind of sort the smaller pieces in. I don't think that's going to work really good for the big pieces, because I think there's just too many. Probably what I'm going to end up doing is leaving the bigger pieces either in the cardboard trays that are now covered up with everything, or even just letting them go loose in the bottom of the box, and then just use these for the small stuff. I may even do kind of like what I've done in my other collection of just general bricks, is put the small stuff into a couple of Ziploc bags, and then get some other little storage containers that may work better, but those trays would do for the time being. And then there is a survey in there, which I'll definitely take a little bit later on. And now we have completely come to the bottom of the box. So, show you the big mumbo jumbo there of bags of pieces that I'm gonna start cutting into here in just a little bit and start organizing. And so looking forward to having this kit. And for right now, I think I'm gonna leave it as a standalone kit, and I may even go ahead and throw the other white and clear pieces I have in with it. My thing right now is I don't really want to separate it out into my other Mod Podge of Legos, which are in this blue container that I showed you in another video. I'm certain that I'll end up using these parts with pieces that I have otherwise, but I'm going to try to leave them as a set. And so, in order not to keep from completely disorganizing the whole thing, what I might do is just add my other white bricks to this and my other clear bricks to this, and just know when I take things back apart, that's where they go back. That way everything kind of stays together for the time being. And I've also got a building that I made last night, and the top third of it is not attached because if I leave it that way permanently, it falls over. It starts to tilt and bend and do all kind of weird things. But this is what I did with the pick-a-brick haul, a lot of the pick-a-brick haul stuff that I showed you in a previous video. This was the first build after getting that pick-a-brick haul home and getting everything organized. And I measured this today. I'll go ahead and put the top tower on there so that you can see what this looks like when it's all together. Well, I thought it was. Hang on. Sorry, folks. Don't mean to black you out. Let me get this fixed and get it on there. Okay. Now I can show you the whole thing from top to bottom. Didn't necessarily have to do the detail work on the base, but the building stands great as it is. But I just decided it was kind of fun, and most of it is to scale, especially if you're looking from the aerial view. If you're looking at it from more of a ground up, then the scale may be a little bigger than you would want it to be, but overall it's not bad. So I'm going to leave this up for probably another day, and then I'll dismantle it and start doing something else with it. But that's the first really big thing I've built since I've gotten back into it. I built another kind of really wimpy building that was only a few stories high a few weeks ago and not even worth showing. But this is the biggest thing I've done since I've gotten back into it, and since I made that trip to the Lego store and got all the pick-a-brick stuff and that sort of thing. This took me probably about 3 hours, steady going the whole 3 hours to make. So not terribly bad really for the height that it is. And that is that. So I'm going to get to opening bags and organizing on this, and then I can kind of give another review of what I've thought. In fact, I'll come back and do that maybe on this same, I'll edit that into this same video. I'll kind of give a review of my impressions of it once it's out of the bag and I can work with it a little bit. But I'm really excited. Not only about working through the book, which I'm going to do, but just about having all these bricks to use for structures, because that's one of the main things that I end up doing is a lot of buildings and mocks and things of that sort. So I'm really looking forward to having all these pieces at my disposal, to make things out of. So I will definitely get back with everyone once I'm able to use the pieces a little and kind of get my hands on them. And I'm thinking it's going to be really exciting though. And that's it for now.
Hi, this is Dream Chaser here, and this is my first try at a structure with Architecture Studio. Now I'll kind of give a little review of it later, but I'll talk about the structure a little bit first. The first exercise in the book that comes with the set asks you to think of an object that inspires you. And so the example it gave was a bird, which of course is something in nature. So I guess I kind of continued on that theme, and the one I thought of was a tree. And I thought about how its structure allows it to be strong and how it's modular. it's versatile. You know, there are different animals that make their homes in it, and um, all of the different parts of the tree work together in order to keep it living. And so that's kind of the idea I got from that. So you can kind of tell what I tried to do was kind of create a sturdy kind of base, but that there's open room if you're kind of thinking about this in terms of a building concept. You know, you have, I didn't really put the walls necessarily all the way around because I just wanted you to kind of to get the feel for kind of how it would come together and get a sense of the space, so that you'd have these nice big open areas that would be workable space for different things. And then of course there's one spine, you know, the tree kind of has that trunk that kind of goes up the center, that you can kind of tell necessary for the structural integrity. But if this were a workable design, of course that would lead you on up to levels up in the upper part of it. The more closed-in spaces would also act as spaces where one could get more privacy, that sort of thing. And so I thought about how, you know, it comes up to the trunk, but it starts to narrow as it goes up, and then there's this point where the branches kind of start to work out so that you kind of have this spreading effect again. And so I guess I got that pretty well. I think I could probably do this design over and add to that and do more with that idea of the spreading out of the branches and that sort of thing. I think you could spread out and have more levels even than what I've put on there. So at some point I might revisit it and try it again, just to see if I can come up with something different. But for a first try, it's not bad, I don't think. I think I did pretty well. I'll kind of give a little overall impression of the set itself. I really love it. You've got tons of pieces to work with and special pieces that you really don't find anywhere else, which is a really awesome thing about it. I made this and didn't use, this is probably not a fourth of the bricks that came in the kit. There's a lot of them, as you can tell, and I've gotten them organized. It took me about 3 hours to sort all the pieces and get them organized into a fashion where I can work with them. And I tend to be uber OCD in the organization. I really like to have similar pieces together. So for me that took a while. Wouldn't take as long for somebody who just loves all the pieces thrown together in the box. You can do that in 15 minutes. For me it took 3 hours. There again, I'm very analytical in the way I work, so it was kind of a necessary evil for me to sit there and organize all those. But then again, I kind of got a lot of calmness and pleasure in doing the organization too. So I guess that's the way, the minds of people like myself, I guess that's the way it works. But the set is really awesome, and I'm going to try to do several of the exercises in the book, and then I'll, of course, try to take photos or make a video of it before I take them down again, to show what I did. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to kind of like working through the book and kind of reading through it more. I just got a hint of it tonight, just kind of sitting there and reading through some of it. And you definitely cannot take that book in one sitting. It's going to take you multiple times to work through the book and to see really in all there is to see in that book and to really go for it in depth. It would take you a while to work through that, but I do want to work through at least most of the ideas that it gives you in the book as a starting point, and you know, kind of work through those, and then in this case where you've got something open-ended, kind of show what the end result was. But I'm also looking forward to using this set, you know, when I do other buildings and structures and that sort of thing. And maybe that's kind of what it really excites me, I guess. It's kind of got my brain turning on this now, is taking the concepts that it kind of gives you to work with, and then when you actually make structures, which sometimes you're making them for aesthetic purposes and you just kind of just want them to look good, but in this case it kind of challenges you because you're kind of challenged to kind of make it, to think about it being something functional, and how would this interact in reality if you were to actually build it and live in it, work in it, whatever. So the thought of trying to incorporate that into the structure has really kind of excited my brain a little bit. So I'm looking forward to using this set and then combining it with some of the blocks I've already have. I've already got a thing about buildings and structures. There's the previous one. I took off the top spire because it was, if I left it on there too long, it was beginning to bend over. But even without it, it still looks pretty cool. But I'm looking forward to using this set by in itself, but then in conjunction with the other elements that I have, to make some bigger things. It's got pieces that I could use to make the buildings and things I look more polished. So that I kind of am excited about too. So I really think the set was worth the price. Definitely you get tons of bricks with it. Lots of different ones. Not so much of your typical 2x4s, 2x6s, that sort of thing, but it really gives you a variety of bricks to work with, and I can definitely put other white 2x4s and 2x6s and other pieces that are more common with it. I can very well see all of my white pieces ending up in this box together. And it being more than just this kit, but this kit and the other white pieces that I have, just so that they all stay together. There again, that's my brain pushing for the organizational methods, I guess, too. But the kit is really awesome. There's just so much in here to work with. Lots of different pieces, and it gives you a lot of it. I'm trying to find them really fast. Here we go. It gives you a lot of the clear pieces too. Of course, we know the trans clear or trans of any other sort of color of elements are pretty rare, and it doesn't give you any really big ones to work with. It's mostly 1x2s and 1x1 square studs and that sort of thing. But that's still a pretty good amount of those pieces to work with, given that they're more of a rarity. It would kind of be nice if you did have more. Just in relation to all the, because you see all of this is the white bricks that it came with. And there's just, you know, bunches upon bunches, lots to choose from. And, you know, that in relation is the clear elements it gives you. So, my only piece of advice at this point would be if they would possibly increase the relation of the clear elements to the white. And maybe throw in some of the bigger clear ones, you know, 2x4s, 2x6s, that sort of thing. But that's really the only constructive criticism I would have. And the other cool thing about this set that where Lego did apparently listen to their fan base on was almost every video I watched reviewing this set, they were like, they didn't put a brick separator and there should be a brick separator. And so it was so cool because when I opened my box and started sorting out pieces, one of the bags had a brick separator. And most of your hardcore Lego folks are going to have at least one of these lying around, but it does seem prudent that they would include one with the set. And also for people that maybe are picking up this as and kind of a novice, not somebody that's been into Lego a lot or for a long time, they may not have realized that there was a brick separator. So now that there's one in there, that's no big deal. They'll already have it in the set, and it's a nice touch on Lego's part to listen to what their fan base was saying and make that adjustment. So I thought that was really cool. I'll put this right and make sure and find it. My only other criticism of the set is that the sorting trays really don't do it justice. They're really not good, in my mind, for actually storing the elements, because there's just not enough of them, and these trays don't interlock. There's nothing to keep the pieces from falling out. So like if you're reaching in the box to grab this and there's the tiny little bitty 1x1s or something like that, and you go to reach in, they're going to be tipping over. And yeah, so that was kind of a little I just chose to do mine a better way. I just went ahead and organized into the Ziplocs, especially for the smaller pieces, because you can close them up and you know that they're not going to be coming out everywhere. So, I mean, the trays are really sturdy, and they're good for spreading it out to actually build with. For that purpose, the trays work extremely well. But if you're looking for a storage mechanism, not so good. You know, it gives you these boxes too, but you know, they don't interlock. They don't have tops. So there again, when you're lifting them in and out of the bigger box for storage, things are gonna, you know, they may fall out, that sort of thing. So I just found out really quick, I just would prefer them in the Ziploc bags where I could get them closed, and when I'm searching through and trying to find pieces, it's no big deal. You know, they're going to stay locked. Nothing's going to get disorganized. You know, nothing's going to come falling out. So I just prefer that a lot better. Of course, it fills the box up a lot more. And when you try to fit all this in, of course, the box doesn't close really well anymore. But, you know, I can deal with that. So I definitely would encourage anyone out there that thinks they would enjoy the set to pick it up. It is more expensive, but I think it's the amount of, you know, the blocks you get, and the book itself, which is just very nicely put together, very nicely designed and illustrated, and nice photos. You're going to be busy for a few hours just to read through the book, let alone doing anything else. So it's definitely worth the money if you've got it to spend and can. I think it's really good either for an adult that maybe hasn't done Lego in a while and they're kind of thinking, yeah, this might be enjoyable. I also think it would still very much appeal to someone that's done Lego for a while and it's kind of looking for something new. You know, not only does it work as a standalone set, but then you can combine these bricks with other bricks in your collection, and just that just to me totally gives you just an endless array of possibilities for what you can do, especially given the variety of bricks that are in this set. And the fact that they're white works in pretty well too, because given not all of them, but a lot of the buildings and structures you can make can have white as a base really easy, and then you can use other colors for accents and that sort of thing. So I really would, overall, I definitely recommend it. I think it's definitely going to be worth the money, and I think it's going to give hours of enjoyment, you know, in both using the set as in itself, but also combining it with other pieces to make different things. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what I can come up with as I continue to get into it, and really, especially learning how to use some of these special pieces and figuring out different ways to make that work. And so I'm really looking forward to using this more, and there again would definitely recommend this to anyone. The ages it recommends on the box is of course for 16 and older, but if you've got a more mature person that's done Lego for a while, they would still get a lot of benefit out of this. They would still enjoy it, be able to pick the elements up and be able to use them. I still think even the book could be, on the whole of it, could be comprehended and understood by someone who's slightly younger. You know, they could definitely, if not understand all the text, they could definitely look at the pictures and pick up ideas from there and be able to use the set the way it was intended. So there you have it, the first structure with the architecture set, and I look forward to this being the first of many, and I will definitely plan to make videos of the better ones that turn out from this, and we will catch you later.